Dear me, today you got after it a little differently than you normally do. Instead of trying to convince yourself that you're disciplined, you made the unfortunate decision to actually be disciplined. And you discovered real quick like that pretending is much more comfortable. Yeah. You stood in front of the mirror this morning. Not that old standard, do I look presentable mirror, but the deeper one. The one that's harder to look at. The one where the person staring back knows every single excuse you've ever invented. That mirror don't lie. It just waits patiently, stares back at you while you try to come up with every new excuse you can so you can quit. That mirror made you face yourself. This wasn't about shame or beating yourself up. It was about finally acknowledging the truth. The pill you've been terrified of swallowing. Because the truth hurts. And it's a hard pill to swallow. But this time, you're doing it, even though it hurts. This time, you're doing it because it hurts. And next time, you don't want to take the hard pill to swallow. You need to pop the top on that bottle of pain and swallow these 6 pills of truth. 1. Strength grows like calluses. You've recently chewed on something uncomfortable. The brain toughens the same way skin does, through repeated exposure to challenge. Meaning, every time you avoid something hard, you delay the strength you're hoping you'll magically appear one day. You want resilience? You want fight that don't back down? Then you need friction. You need pressure. You need those little moments of discomfort that build a tougher you. It's not exactly the motivational poster you want to hear, but it's the truth. And because it's true, you wrote in your journal, comfort blocks growth. Challenge builds capacity. And then you grumbled like you hated it. Because you knew you were right. 2. Raising the bar on yesterday's you. At the gym, you went in with one simple goal. Do just slightly more than you usually do. Not to impress anybody, not to become a superhero. Just to prove to yourself that you can stretch a little past where you normally stop. For a brief moment, you felt unstoppable. Right up until the squat rack reminded you that humility is good for the heart. But you continued anyway. And as you pushed through, you realized something important. Your first impulse to quit is almost never your actual limit. It's just your brain being dramatic again. So between gasps, you whispered, just one more moment. stay with it. You weren't trying to sound wise. You were trying not to fold. 'Cause you don't need no help with that. You mastered the fold. So we're laying it out there. Wide open this time. 3. Rewriting the voice inside your head. Lately, you've begun to notice how much your inner dialogue controls your behavior. The voice in your head can rationalize anything. Skipping workouts, delaying goals, choosing comfort, avoiding effort. It's practically a motivational speaker for laziness. So today, you challenge that voice with a little blunt honesty. You're not avoiding this because you can't do it. You're avoiding it because it's hard. And suddenly the excuses didn't sound so convincing. Truth tends to cut through the noise like that. It didn't feel good, but it felt real. Yeah. 4. Faith as your backbone. In the middle of all this mental wrestling, you remembered something. God gives you strength, but He doesn't do your reps for you. Faith is not a shortcut to growth. It's the foundation that keeps you from crumbling during it. You added 2 reminders to your journal. God equips you for endurance, not avoidance. Courage is moving forward even when fear is protesting in the background. Sometimes that encouragement feels uplifting. Other times it feels like God is gently saying, "You've got work to do, son." Today it was both. 5. The power of choosing hard things. Another truth you learned. The brain becomes more resilient when you willingly choose difficult things. It learns not to panic. It learns not to catastrophize discomfort. It learns how to stay steady during pressure. So you made yourself a deal. Every day you'll choose one thing that requires effort. Not to impress anyone, not to earn anything, but to build the inner strength you've been saying you want. Today's challenge was pushing yourself at the gym. Tomorrow's might be waking up earlier, which feels deeply unfair. Get over it. 6. Final thoughts before you tap out. At the end of the day, sitting in your chair with the kind of sweat that makes you rethink your life choices, you realize inner strength isn't built during motivational highs. It's built during ordinary moments where you don't quit, where you make small, consistent decisions that pull you forward rather than let you drift backward. It's built by choosing discomfort when comfort tempts you with a nap, by being consistent when it would be easier not to be, by stepping into growth instead of praying for change while avoiding every challenge that comes your way. Strength isn't delivered to you, Strength is developed within you. And tomorrow, you will show back up to that mirror, not for judgment, but for accountability. Deep, uncomfortable, transformative accountability. One moment, one challenge, one act of courage at a time. Yeah, I like it. Sincerely, me. Dear you. Yeah. It might be uncomfortable to like it anyway. It might be uncomfortable to subscribe. So what? You will probably make an excuse not to share or leave a comment. Yeah. Well, what you gonna do? The